Today is Saturday, December 26, 2015, and this is the Bunny Slippers of Evil Job Seekers Call-In Show, presented by Evil Bunny Consulting. I'm your host, Tyrone Griffin, and as usual, last few minutes before the show has, it's gone crazy. And if it's 3 p.m. and you have on your bunny slippers, you are not looking for a job. Welcome, first-time and returning listeners. In this show, we discuss strategies and tactics of job search, staying motivated, and dealing with career transition. For more tips, resources, daily motivations, and to listen to archive shows, go to the website bunnyslippersofevil.com. There you also find links to our Facebook page, our Twitter handle, and our YouTube handle. If you are listening live, you can call in with your questions at 347-202-0929. Again, that number is 347-202-0929. And now a word from our sponsors. Excuse me. Evil Bunny Consulting is the alternative to expensive outplacement. They give company-sponsored job seeker workshops as well as a one-on-one boot camp. For more information, go to bunnyslippersofevil.com. Excuse me. Resume Edit is the low-cost, high-quality resume writing company with resumes as low as $35, written by certified resume writers. You can find them online at resume4edit.com or call 404-860-2473. Be sure to tell them you heard about them here on the Bunny Slippers of Evil Job Seekers podcast. Let 3dresumes.net turn your resume into a web page with a customized domain for 12 months for only $30. Help hiring managers and recruiters find you, make your resume available 24/7, and get a free professional email address just for your job search. You can find my online resume at tyronegriffin.com. And more information on how to get your own, go to 3dresumes.net. If you're thinking or about to look for a job in today's world, you will find a new reality in the job search process. The world has changed. Job search today is much more complicated than 5 years ago. Volumes of resumes, more applicant screening systems, depersonalized applications, panel interviews, team hiring, long complicated applications, branding, and social media. Yes, the world has changed. But are you still trying yesterday's approach? Why struggle and miss out on today's opportunity? Career Oyster is here to help. Great coaches, the latest resources, unique strategies personally tailored to your job search. Find out the new reality now and how you can prevent costly mistakes. To register for a free 45-minute private session with head coach Howard Caddy, go to careeroyster.com. Find out the facts now. You'll be glad you did. Remember their motto, the world is your oyster, be the pearl. Oh gosh, well, good morning everybody and welcome to the last show of the year. Hey. I apologize. It's like every week, 5 minutes before the show, everything goes crazy. So then I start prepping 6 minutes before the show and it goes crazy again. So this week, last show of the year. First of all, I want to thank everybody who's hung with me with these 5 years. I'm not going away. This is not hey, this is it, goodbye, adios, peace. No. In every week, I struggle sometimes in coming up with what to talk about, what aspect of job search I should talk about. And by the way, yeah, got a little gray here. I'm on vacation this week, so I'm not doing nothing. So yeah, it'll be gone by next week probably. I think we'll see. But no. Every week, believe it or not, I often do struggle with, what to talk about, what aspect of job search. And, there's so many aspects, there's just so many things you can talk about. So we try to talk about it in different ways and things like that. I try to keep the information a little, fresh just because, somebody, you have to think that for every week, it might be somebody that might be their first time tuning in. So, every week I try to make something a little fresh, even if it's no, even if we're not doing anything new. I'm sorry, my video just acted up, so we may not have video this week because my video just went down. So that's why we do this show. Yeah, video's full. Okay, well, we'll figure that out. So this week will be an audio-only show. Sorry for those video heads. Yeah, you saw the beginning of it, but anyway,
every week I try to figure out what I'm going to do. I try to plan a few days, a few weeks in advance. Sometimes, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But anyway, I'm rambling. I'm sorry. Um, but my point is, this is a year in review show, and I always try to, I always try to keep the information current. So I decided this week, let me just look back on what the last year is with respect to me and this show has been like. Some things you've already known, some things you're going to probably be surprised, some things you probably won't care about. So, but we're going to cover it all. I got 24 more minutes, so that's what we're going to talk about. First, from a personal standpoint, I'm in the same boat with a lot of people who are hunting for jobs. I mean, I'm out there looking for jobs. I've had this calendar year, I've had 3 jobs, 2 different companies, 2 jobs as a contractor, and 1 job, my current job, as a permanent employee. And I'm not going to get into who I work for. It's irrelevant. But I can't begin to tell you how, flat out thankful I am for my job. Sometimes people will take things for granted, and that's straight up truth. People will often take things for granted. And hey, we may have video back, so I'm going to start recording again. The people who are trying to watch this on video, it's going to be really, it's going to be a big gap in the middle. But it is what it is.
So hey, back on video. But anyway, what I was saying is, forgot what I was saying. Oh, I was saying I had 3 jobs this year, 2 contract jobs and 1, my current job's full time. And I've said many times, once you go through job transition, if you're smart, you will never forget it. One of the biggest reasons I do this show, I continue to do this show, and yeah, maybe we aren't having the crisis of jobs that we had 5 years ago when I started, but there's still people out there looking. There's still, people who don't have jobs. There are still people who have given up. There are still people who are often searching for what to do. There are people like that. And those are the people that, I can say I do this show for those people. And for myself, obviously, as well. Because I'm making millions of dollars a week on this show. No. But there's still people out there. It's not as bad as it was, but it's not as great as it can be. And I guess, from my perspective, this topic, maybe I'm not the right vehicle, but the idea of jobs, I remember when I was out there, I didn't know where to turn. Luckily down here in Southeast America, in Atlanta area, we have a thriving job networking community. We really, aced out, lucked out, whatever you want to call it on that one, because we have a really thriving community of people who are not just looking for jobs, but people who are willing to help people looking for jobs. I've mentioned a few. One of the companies, company called Hotel Equities. I rarely mention their name, and they aren't paying me for this endorsement. They manage hotels or something. I think I didn't mention them for a while because I worked for a hospitality company, and I didn't want to get into any issues of conflict of interest or anything. I can't speak on how well they perform their function as far as managing hotels because I just don't know. But this is one of those companies, in the Atlanta area, one of those companies that opens their doors to job seekers. Lets job seekers have their conference room for job networking meetings, and this company pays for lunch. I often think about that. This company does that, and I cannot thank them enough for myself and so many other job seekers. If you are a job seeker in the Atlanta area and you don't know about the Life Lessons meeting on every Wednesday at Hotel Equities, look it up. It's you go to the I think I have a link in the in the resources section of the what is the Google Calendar with all this stuff, the meetings. But you know, in a time where we got so many situations, so many people looking out just for self, you come across a company that is selflessly just trying to help somebody else, just trying to help job seekers with nothing, asking for nothing back. If I could give them free endorsement, that's it. The company's name is Hotel Equities, and from myself and so many job seekers who've never said it to them personally, thank you. But when I see things like that, people that are helping job seekers for no gain or no perceived gain, I'm just doing a little humble little podcast, trying to help somebody, someplace, somehow, somewhere. There are so many others who could be, who are doing great things for job seekers. So when I think about doing this show, and it is hard sometimes. You guys have seen me struggle sometimes to come up with a topic to talk about some week, or come with an angle. The topic is always usually about job search, except for the week I did this show on coaching. And yeah, I know that was totally left field, but it was in my heart, so I did it. Period. I'm not going to apologize for that. But this little show I do, with both of you listeners, this is the least I can do. This is the least I can try to do for job seekers. Honestly and truly, I tend to shy away from getting into politics on this show, because that's not what the goal of this show is. But at the same time, sometimes you can't ignore some things. And, there are people who feel, political leaders, who feel that unemployed people are lazy, that they're not trying to find jobs, things like that. And I always, it's like, walk a mile in my shoes. If you're not unemployed, if you're just listening to this show for fun, trust me when I say there are very few feelings worse than not being able to find a job. And then going out and applying for jobs every day and knowing that, your success is going to be a result of somebody else's kindness. And when all you're trying to do is feed your family. It's rough. If you've never experienced it, and I don't wish it on anybody, but if you've never experienced it, I don't wish it on you. But anyway, might be a lot of rat holes this week, guys. But originally what I was saying, I've been in 3 jobs. I'm thankful for the people I met along the way. I had one contracting job that ended, and, I can sit here and, my sour grapes are that the manager told me that I would get 2 months notice if they weren't going to renew the contract. And that 2 months turned into 2 weeks, and I was gone. And it was a contract, so it was no severance or anything. I was able to land a job. I found myself in one of those really weird situations where I had 2 offers on the table that I was looking at the same time. 2 different companies, 2 different slightly, they were pretty different offers. And I trusted, I prayed on it. But if you ever find yourself in that situation, what I suggest you do, and this is how I did it, other than praying about it, was I looked at the 2 jobs and I decided at which job would I be more marketable a year from now. One job was a 1-year contract, one job was a permanent position. And I felt that the job with the 1-year contract would make me more marketable. That was the equation. Which job would be more marketable? Yeah, one of them had more money. But that was a simple thing. At which one would I be more marketable in a year? Once I made that decision, it was easy. I think, a lot of times when we have people find themselves with two two opportunities, they know which one they want to take. They just want to try to justify it. Money had a lot to do with it. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say, oh no, it was the great people I get to work with and opportunity, blah blah. Yeah, right. It was some money, but also, I had to make that decision. A year from now, which of these jobs would I be more marketable? Which of these jobs could I, parlay into something permanent? Ooh, excuse me. I am so sorry. For those of you who know, I'm trying to keep my workouts up. I walked 5 miles this morning. Yeah, it felt good, but I did. I was up 4 or 5. Yeah, day after Christmas, right? I was up 4 or 5 this morning walking on a treadmill. But anyway, so if I look tired half the time, people, guess what? I is. But I'm saying, while it's not as bad as it was, back in 2010 when I first was laid off, there's still people out there, and there's still people out there who found a job. It's funny. I think about this is my career. The first 18 years of my professional career, I worked for one company for 18 years. In the last 8 years, I've worked for 5 companies, technically 4 companies and one twice, but I worked in 5 different positions in 8 years. I did not intend that, but it happened. So yeah, I talked about it on the show once, the circumstances behind each time I left. Not going to rehash that. Some of it, if it was my fault, some of it probably wasn't, but whatever it is, it is. That's one thing I've learned on this show is that, you can point blame all you want. Blame don't change the outcome. 2 kids start fighting. One of them started. One of them's in the hospital. One of them started to fight. Okay, let's run around back and forth, figure out who started the fight. But at the end of the day, there's still a kid in the hospital that we can deal with. When you get laid off, you still got to deal with that. You don't have time for different, people, those levels of emotion or levels of grief, that some people might take months to go through. Usually got to go through them in a weekend. That's just reality. So anyway, my point is, I had these 3 jobs all the time I'm doing this show. So I'm not an expert by any stretch. But thank God I was able to keep going. That's all you want, is to keep going. I kept going. That's all I did. How did you succeed? I keep going. I've said on this show, don't matter where you've been, where you going. Yeah, your situation sucks. What are you gonna do about it? The old Jedi proverb. Yes, I did see Star Wars. Yes, it rocks. When outnumbered, attack. Okay, you're outnumbered. What are you gonna do about it? Curl up in a ball? No, I don't mean to sound like tough love. It's not tough love. It's logical love. What are you going to do about it? It's simple. That's the only question. What are you going to do about it? Okay. They say life is more about how you respond than what happens to you. So anyway, this year has been that kind of craziness for me. Walked into absolute perfect situation job wise, and it's been great for the last 6 or 8 months. Oh, about 9 months now. 6, 7, 8 or 9 months. Yeah, it's been phenomenal. The moral of that is, trust in God and wait on Him. I know I probably have some atheists out there, and I don't mean to push my religion on you. Atheist or not, you still got to get out there and do the work. You still got to pound the pavement. You still got to talk to people. You still got to develop your elevator speech. You still have to do all these things that are associated with job search. It's just that, whether you believe in God or not, to help you. That's between you and your God, or you and your non-God, or your ungod, or your anti-God, or whatever you call them. But that's between you and him, or her, it, them, or they. Nothing to do with that. I'm not going to try to convince anybody, convert anybody. You ask me, I'll tell you. But anyway, rat hole, get to drinking. Yeah, year end. For those new listeners, a while back I developed this thought. Anytime I go down a rat hole, you call it a drinking game. You can go ahead and have a swig. So, but you got notes this week. One of my I won't call it a New Year's resolution. It's a I'm on vacation resolution. The next probably maybe today, tomorrow I'm gonna do a couple of 1 minute bunny tips. I haven't done them in a while. I know I've been promising forever, but y'all don't understand how life. It's tough out here for. Never mind. But it's been crazy. It's been very crazy. I've gotten through everything, but it's just been one crazy thing after another. And to do the 1 minute bunny tips, it's not just about the content. It's about with the topic, and then you write it, and then you write it at the right cadence, so that you can end it in a minute. So I mean, it's not. The days that I recorded them, it's not unheard for me to record the same minute 15 times. Trying to get the timing right and everything so that I end just when I want to end. So that's not that not that hard. Oh, not that easy. I'm sorry. Oh gosh, I'm starting to lose it here. But next year, what I want to try to do, I know I'm jumping around a lot, but this is how I roll. Dun, dun, dun. I want to try monthly themes. I'm still going to try to do the Q&A session for the first Saturday of each month. But for each month, I want to try to pick a theme and do three shows on that theme. Whether it be, if it's resumes, whatever it is, it's like, okay, here's the theme for this month. Business cards. What do you need to know about business cards? So I'll pick 3 aspects of each theme, and that's what I'll discuss every week. So that's one change I'm going to try to make next year. I don't know how long it's going to last, but some of this stuff is hard to talk about for 3 shows. That's where the show is going. That's what I'm trying to do it next year. Other thing was, talk about what's really important in job search. I mean, I've been talking about this for a year, and I've talked about, oh gosh, a ton of different things. But even this year, but what is really important in job search? Drawing a blank. The thing that's most important, 2 things: keep going and help someone else. Keep going is because you have no choice. You have nothing else to do. If you don't do it, nobody else will do it for you. Don't ever forget that. If you don't do it, nobody else is going to do it. Yeah, I just had a brain fart a minute ago, and I'm so sorry. It's the after fart life existence that really blows your mind. You're like, really? I really just shut down for like 4 seconds there. After fart life. Wow. Yeah, this is the year-end show, and I'm punchy. So this is why you're getting all kinds of crazy stuff from me today. But again, you just keep going. If you don't do it, nobody else will. And I think it's help somebody. That's what you're supposed to do in life. Try to help somebody do something. I've been helped more times than I know. And a lot of times that I did know that I was being helped. I'm so thankful of that. Go back to that original question of why I do this show. Because people help me. Because if I can help one person, then it's all the weeks and months of doing this show, of trying to figure out what to talk about. All of those things are worth it if I can help one person. Excuse me, man, I am hitting a serious wall. I don't know what happened, but all that finally caught, all that good living finally is catching up to me. But those are the things that I feel important. The most important thing is help somebody and just keep going. I actually had notes this week. Where are we going next year? as far as I keep doing the show, again, I do it because God told me to do it. When God tells me to stop, I'll stop. Till then, I'm going to keep doing this show. I'm going to keep trying to come up with something, some angle, some perspective of job search. Even though right now we're not in a situation where there are a lot of people unemployed, or it's not as frantic. In 5 years, you never know what you might be, where you might be, but who you might need. Was it the saying that the toes you step on the way up are connected to the behind you got to kiss on the way down? There's nothing worse than losing a job and realizing that you are literally the most, you lost your job because you were arrogant. That's one thing I had this year. I had one person in my company was let go point blank because of attitude. Attitude is everything, people. Attitude is everything. The most important things are helping other people and just keep going. But the spice, the additional that makes job search what it is, got my point. I am so sorry, people. I'm hitting a serious wall right now, and it's freaking me out. But anyway, we're gonna go on for there. We got about 3 minutes. I'm gonna start wrapping this up before I pass out right in front of you. That would be too funny. I'm in a serious wall. I apologize. I walked 5 miles this morning, and I am seriously. It's like it's all coming back right now. Like, go to bed. And 5 minutes after the show ends, trust me, I will be. But anyway, the last thing I want to say in regard to the year in review is I want to thank you all. I know I say it, try to say it after every show, but you can't understand. This young boy and his family moved here from Connecticut. When I was let go, I didn't know anybody. Some of the best friends I have in the world I met through job search. Because those were people who, let's say they had the guard down because they were in the midst of a crisis. And they are some of the, best people in the world. So I just want to thank you for your comments, for your support, for your guidance, for your wisdom, for so many things for the next. Oh, God, excuse me. But I just want to thank you. My computer's acting up. I'm serious. I apologize. The show is usually not like this. But again, I just want to thank everybody who has supported me, and I'm not talking financially, but financially too, who've just told me they listened to the show and said, just keep going, you're doing good. Did I plan to make $1 million off this show? It would have been nice, but that wasn't, I was realistic. I didn't think it was going to happen. And I'm fine with it. But I'm just thankful. I'm really, really humble and thankful. And I'm hoping that 2016 will be better than 2015 was for so many people. I hope that those people out there who are still looking, and some of you have been looking since I was out, I hope you find something fairly quickly. Something white, something white. Wow. Hope you find something that's a good match for you, a good fit. I pray that you will you find the strength that no matter what happens, that you can keep going. That you will, take strength from looking at pictures of your family, looking at the house you live in, and thinking about, okay, wow, I'm really going up deep end this week. I apologize. I'm not on anything. I am just dog tired. And this last 43 seconds is going to kill me. But anyway, I wish you all the very best next year. I wish you all peace, happiness, and joy. Whatever you celebrate or not celebrate, I hope it's joyful and safe. Next year, we're going to hit the ground running. We're going to do our first, for next Saturday would be our job search Q&A, and then we're going to have a theme for the month. And we're going to go from there. And next year, I hope to be better than this year on all fronts. So with that, people, I'm going to end the show. I'm going to end the year. It has been truly an honor, a pleasure, and a privilege. And I pray that you all have a very safe, joyous, happy, prosperous, and employed new year. Take care.